The Ginza Rba, translated into English by Ram Al Sabiry. Blessed be my Lord of pure heart, in the name of the great first, strange life from the light worlds, the exalted one who stands above all works. Let healing, victory, responsibility, and a remission of sins be granted to me, my father, my mother, my wife, and my children. Manda Dahaya set up her name in his treasure house. Take her to be with the community and be a support to them. Because of the name I had confidence in life, and they wrote these books so that for me a souvenir in the Tibble exists, and my name in the house of perfection will be established. Then let a remission of sins be given to all priests, and let to the Dayans who seek instruction in these writings, to the voice listen to life and praise the first life. Blessed are you, my Lord of a pure heart, you, Lord of all different worlds. Blessed be you, blessed, praised, glorified, honored, be the great, high, praised God, the high Light King, the Lord, the God of truth, whose power is vast and endless, the pure, shining, and great light that does not pass, the compassionate, imploring, pleasing, merciful, the Redeemer of all believers, the fortifier of all good, the mighty, the wise, the knower, the seer, the discriminator, the power, however, about everything, the Lord of all worlds of light, the upper, the middle, and lower, the great face of glory, invisible, unlimited, without comrades in the crown, without partners in the Lord. Light pillar, he who trusts in him will not be disgraced, he who calls his name sincerely, it does not fall to anyone who stands in trust in him, he will not be humiliated. The great Lord of all kings, nothing was since he was not, nothing is so he is not. For him there is no death, for him there is no passing. His light shines and his radiance shines on all beings and kings who stand before him in their glory, and the great 5 lights which are stored above them shine. He bestowed on them prayer and praise which lay in their hearts, who stand in clouds of light. They worship, praise, and confess, worthy of the Lord of greatness, the high King of light, for whose splendor, light, and glory there is no measure, no number, no limit. The whole, shine all light, all brightness, all life, all fidelity, all love, all compassion, all forbearance, all eyes, all faces, all praise, faces of beauty, of total insight, knowledge and revelation, total name of glory. The great high God, whose power no one has measured, no one grasps his power and the power of all his worlds. He is the high King of light, blessed with all blessings, from beginning to all eternity, the first, from all primordial beginnings, the creator of all forms, the creator of beautiful things, who in his wisdom preserved hidden, not revealed. He is the high King of light, the Lord of all the worlds of light, the high ruler of the Uthras, the God over all, the King of kings, the great Lord over all kings, a shining one that does not change, a light that does not perish, beauty, splendor, and glory that is not contemptible has he, life, a survival, shining, an overglow of light and overlight, and he is neither lacking nor is he lacking. He is the light in which there is no darkness, the living in which there is no death, the good in which there is no wickedness, the mild in which there is neither rebellion nor anger, the gentle in which there is neither poison nor bitterness. He sits in the far north, powerful, beautiful, and resplendent, the primordial container of all luminaries, the father of all Uthras. He blesses all beings. He rests on all perfect, true, and believers, in whose mouth his name is set up. The King in the city of light, who is in the abodes of the kingdoms abides. He is constant. His radiance rises and illuminates. He is without end, without measure and number. He rejoices with joy without sorrow, and all of his reign is happy. A beautiful picture, an ornament, and a splendor is he, that there is no beauty like him. The truth is he who dwells in the upper heights, the Lord, the grandeur, the Lord of all great things. No one can imitate him. His power to determine and describe in more detail, and those of all kinds, as well as his shkintas in which he resides, and the uthras and kings who lived to stay with him. That high King of Light sits securely in his dwelling. He is higher than all beings. Like the earth is his habitation. He excels everyone, like the sky, the mountains. He shines more than all, like the sun, more than lamps. He is brighter than all, like the moon, more than the stars. He is of all qualities, and there is no lacking. He is of great crowns, that his power and greatness is limitless. It is not limited by number or invoice. The sparks of his crown shine out to every place. Rays of glory, light and glory go from his face, and between the leaves of his wreath. All uthras and kings, yes, all the world, stand in prayer and praise the high King of Light. 5 mighty great qualities emanate from him. The first is his light that rises above him. The second is his well-being, the smell that wafts over you. The third is the loveliness of his voice, through which they rejoice. The fourth is the speech of his mouth, through which he creates and begets them. The fifth is the beauty of his figure, due to which they grow as large as the fruits in the sun. All the uthras opened their mouths. They praised that high light, and they said to him, "Who shall praise you? Who shall glorify you? Who will bless you? Who will honor you? Who will consolidate you? If we are you with your princes, you should praise. Your price is limitless. When we meet you, you are to bless with your blessing. Your blessing is extended and endless. If we are to hold you up according to your sublimity and height is immeasurable. If we are to praise you according to your depth is unfathomable. When we hear of your strength, your brilliance, and to speak of your light, your radiance is too extended to speak with words. To speak of it, your light is too abundant and great to speak of it, to talk and to tell. The blessing, the grace, and majesty of the high King of Light blossoms up, comes up, and cannot be limited. Never can man understand them, nor understand them except the life that is with you, and the uthras and messengers who stand before you. All beings know your names. The kings stand there and speak to each other. Which name does carry the great light, they say. There is no name like his name. There is no one who calls it by name. No one who calls the name that is recorded, save the perfect ones who knew you with a pure heart, and remember you with a clear conscience, who blessed you with a mouth that is all praise, praising you with a sincere tongue, confessing you with believing lips. And they said, "One is the King of Light in his kingdom. There is none like he who is greater than he. There is none who is greater than he, no one who made war with him. There is no one who could compare himself with his figure, no one who could see his eyes, or lift up to look at the crown on the head of that high King of Light, without his own crown falling from his head. He is a high mountain which the storms of the air do not shake. He is clothed with new robes of splendor, which are not of the clothes of this world. No woman has yet spoken, 'We want to make a robe for the Lord of crowns.' Do not speak of this. Even the children of the nations are not able to create the shell for him, which lies around his shoulders. The robe he wears will not come off, and the moth does not come and eat in this shell. The sun does not set before him. The lights of his city do not go out. The crowns on his head will not wither, and the leaves of his wreath will not fall off, which protrude above his face. The fragrance wafts out from between the leaves of the wreath, which over his face lies. All Uthras are enveloped by the fragrance and rejoice. Blessed, exalted, and mighty is he above all gods. Of all ages, and he is the king from the beginning. He will not be named by the mouth, nor will his name be limited between the lips. He is the judge of his place, in whose mouth there is no lie. The throne of the great, the exalted, is firmly established, that he may lie in eternity, and is not moved from his place. Non-physical builders have established the throne that is under him. No builders of clay have built the residence where he is housed. He is the king from the beginning, whose kingdom exists for eternity and does not pass away. Never did his hip tremble in fear, nor did the fear and anxiety of the children of darkness. He has never participated in days of terror, and the children do not reach the hour of wrath and the quake. The King of Light is with his crown as king for eternity, for his kingdom is without offense. A king was praised and honored in his city, with huge diamond walls surrounding. The king of the great, rich in Uthras, abundant in messengers, greater than the kings of every place. He is glad in his city, glad is he and his whole empire. He has no father older than him, no firstborn who would have been before him. He has no brother to share with him. There is no twin brother who lives together. He has not mixed and has not divided, and there is no division in his city. Before him they do not offer a sacrifice, they do not eat meat, they do not drink wine of pleasure, and do not sing before him a song of sacrilege. The garment with which he is clothed does not turn black, the crowns on his head do not wither, and leaves do not fall from his wreath. No sound of lamentation is in its place, no childlessness, child of man. Nobody passes in front of him. His dwelling will not be defiled by a dead man. He did not fight a hard fight, nor stand there at the days of terror. The king rejoices in the children of the light. He calls one, and 1,000 answer him. By his word he creates Uthras, by which he makes the speech of his mouth complete. The king of all Uthras and Shkintas create crowns on the heads of the height of heaven, the gentle one. You who force down the mighty, the mighty of strength, that you and push down the unruly. Blessed and praised are you by everyone, from all time, and time will last into eternity. Greater is your own power than that of all the kings of the place of darkness. You live in a place that is light and bright and beautiful, and exalted is the land in which you dwell. Blessed are you in the seat of the good, established in the place where the whole is a blessing. You rejoice in him, and your heart rejoices because of all of your companions. You have been since the first day, and have existed for all eternity. He spoke with great power and mighty speech, and the kings of light and of pure splendor and great light that does not pass away. And the kings of praise ascended, arose, and came into being, for which there is no end, number, or offense. They are all full of praise, and stand there and praise that high King of light, whose splendor is richer than to be described with a mouth of flesh and blood, and whose light is greater than that which one utters with the lips. His radiance shines, and his light shines over all the worlds. Bright and luminous is the firmament in which they dwell. The world in which he stands is without offense, a world of splendor and light without darkness, a world of gentleness without rebellion, a world of order without confusion and hustle and bustle, a world of sense without an ugly scent, a world of light and eternity without offense and death, a world of living water, the smell of which makes kings rejoice, a world of goodness without badness, a world of faithfulness and faith without lies and deceit. It is a pure world without a bad mixture. The angels of splendor praise that high King of light in the splendor and the light that he bestowed upon them. The angels of glory praise him in the garments of splendor that he bestowed upon them. The angels of glory praise him in the sheaths of light that he bestowed upon them. The angels of glory praise him in the belts of splendor that he bestowed on them. The angels of glory praise him in the wreaths of splendor that he put on them. The angels of glory praise him with the strength and firmness that he gave them. The angels of glory praise him with faithfulness, community, and faith that he awarded them. They are all gentle, wise, and pleasant without wickedness, lies, and war. They are clothed with garments of splendor, and with garments of light are they covered. They sit and live next to each other without sin against one another, or sin against one another. They are gorgeous in their firmament, and fit to each other like an eyelash to the eye. Their inwardness is manifest to one another. First and last they know, 1,000 times 1,000 miles away from each other, and yet one shines through the other, and one smells through the other, the smells that are good. They include brotherly loyalty with each other and reveal their inner thoughts. They are caught up in all manner of They are not caught up in all manner of death, and the destruction of death is not created for them. For them there is no offense, they do not cease, their strength does not decrease, and with pain and infirmity they are not made naked. Her robe does not turn black, her sheath does not darken, your wreaths do not wither and do not diverge, and the leaves and the leaves do not fall to get out of them. They grow in all growth, live and stand firmly in their places. They do not waver and are not shaken. Among them is there no old man who seized, no miscarriage that resulted from the mother body that would have come out. There is no judgment in their city, and they do not judge one another. They do not hunger and thirst, and heat and cold, and malice and anger is not with them. They do not wage war with each other and do not get into trouble. No wild animal enters their earth, and the evil worm does not come out of it. No bad leaf is on their trees, no bitterness is on the fruits of their dwellings. Their fruits do not wither and dry up, and the leaves of the trees do not fall off. Moth and dust does not fall in their slothfulness, and for their dwellings there is no offense. Angry rulers without mercy have no dominion over them. There are no angry ravings without pity at their residences. Their firmaments are lofty, and their buildings are houses of the seed of completion. Their seas are calm and gentle, and there is no there is no lack of passage in them. The Jordans of the worlds of light are full of white water, whiter than milk, cold and tasty, and its fragrance strengthens more than the spicy big vines. The Uthras and kings who drink from them do not taste the taste of death. They have no evil, dull, or hard day, and there is no sorrow in their soul. For your years there is no number, for your whole life there is no measure. They are all joyful and flaunting in joy without tribulation. They stride, they float over that white earth of the ether. In the splendor that has risen above them, no darkness is mixed. Those beings of light disintegrate into many species. They are divided into earths, shkintas, yardnas, trees, uthras, and angels, as well as in splendor, light, and brightness that rest on them. There is no boundary between them and one and the other. Her figure is luminous and bright. The sight of her face is flashing and clear, equal to pure beryl. Strength and voice become stronger every day. Speech and victory were created by the king of all the light worlds and sent to her. They all stand there with prayer and praise, with miraculous prayers, orders, and hymns, and show to the high king of light submission and praise, and those angels who are from the king to the Lord. Fragrance comes forth from among them, and all the fragrances of the joy, not the smell of idols, and not the smell of all Astartes, All rejoice one over the other, as the rain clouds rejoice over the trees and the seeds of the earth. They are emblems of the beautiful, the beauty, the beauty, the beauty, and the beauty. One is more miraculous than the other, one more luminous than the other. The name of the High King of Light is blessed for all eternity, and levels the Uthra's angels, messengers, apparitions, figures, earths, shkintas, castles, buildings, yardnas, and trees, as well as the splendor that shines on them, were created by the King of Light. From the King of Light, the Uthras and kings are evoked. From the earth is made of the Jordan and trees. Of brightness and light there are garments, cloaks, and wreaths made for them, and not one of them is there something that would be lacking. That place is a place of life, truthfulness, tranquility, the security, peace, and faith that everyone hopes for, and on which he builds his confidence. The king rejoices in the sons of light, and they are proud of him. Their buildings and shkintas are built of splendor and light, and their walls are safety and strength. Their splendor is more miraculous than the splendor of the sun and the moon. Their brightness is brighter than the brightness of this world, and the splendor of this world is a mixture, but the splendor of that world is brightness without turbidity. Of course, the splendor of this world is in the image created with the same brilliance, but like small shells and pebbles, pearls are. Your earth does not rest on any ambon. Your firmament does not turn by wheels. The 7 stars do not walk above them. The 5 and 12 do not guide your destiny. Dust is not in their way. Mud is not in your yardnas. They are nimble in their course, like the thought of the heart of man who does not walk on his feet, and yet in an hour to every place he arrives. Light and calm is her gait, like the rays of the sun to the eyes of the children of Adam, the rays that appear from heaven reaching the earth. When they meet each other, they undress and clothe themselves, dealing with the mutual treasures. They do not sin and do not offend each other, like the splendor of the sun and the wind, like the fire and the water of this world. Their food is from the blessing of the Jordan, the fruits and the trees. There is no end and no limit to their virtues, and we do not speak of their power. As someone said, should the stinking body praise you, or the vain tongue? Would be our mouth like the sea, our tongue like the rugged rocks of it, our lips like 2 banks. We could not, my Lord. Your comprehensibility is indescribable over all your worlds. No, there is no one who could describe your power or comprehensibility. Salvation is to him who knows you. Salvation is to him who speaks of you in knowledge. Salvation is to the one who is enlightened about you. Salvation to the one who is enlightened about you and spreads himself. Salvation to him who teaches himself about you in truth. Salvation to him who teaches you. Save him who has learned your wisdom, and free himself from error and confusion, and liberate him from this world. Save the truthful and faithful ones who have known you, and they have seen. They ascend victorious and look at the place of light. Blessed and praised be you, my Lord, you high King of Light, from today to all eternity. By your word everything became. From the side of that Lord of greatness, an Uthra was created and sent out, whose name is Hibilziwa, the Gabriel, the messenger who is called. When the High King of Light wanted it, he called me out of the splendor and the light in which he stands, out of that Shkinta which he, the great, was found at his right hand, and said to him, Arise, go forth into the world of darkness that is full of wickedness. She is full of evil, full of consuming fire, to the world that was full of lies and deceit, which is sown with thistles and thorns. The world of confusion, and confusion to the world of darkness without light, to the world of stench without fragrance, to the world of persecution and death, without life and eternity, to the world in which the good things pass away and the plans do not come true. He said to him, Go, let the darkness come down, and the mysteries be formed in it. Seal the earth, tighten the firmament, and form the stars in it. Give shine to the sun, brightness to the moon, and to all the stars. Give them a good taste of water, and shine to the fire. Create fruits, grapes, and trees that flaunt in the world. livestock, fish, and poultry of every genius, a little man and a little woman who belong to Adam, and his entire family should be of service. A man and a woman shall arise, and their name shall be given to Adam and Hawa. Of the angels of light of fire, some shall be servants of Adam, and everyone who deviates from your word should go to the blazing fire to be contained. 3 angels of splendor and light have been created to keep Adam company. Living water, come and mix with the turbid water. Through the scent of living water, the whole world flaunts. The 4 winds of the house are to be created, as well as the air, which blowing them, let fire arise and spread over all the world. That world shine through your hand. The high King of light uttered the word, and all things arose by his word. Gabriel the messenger came, lifted up the sky, and stretched it. He sealed the earth and firmly established it, and the whole world by the power of the high King of light. Adam the husband and Hawa his wife were formed, and the soul fell into the body. When the soul had fallen into the body, they understood and understood everything. The angels of fire came and submitted to Adam. They came and bowed down to him and did not deviate from his speech. Only he alone, the evil one, from whom evil was formed, departed from the word from his Lord. Then his master bound him with a fetter. My Lord called me, the noble messenger, and appointed me and said, Go, call a voice to Adam, to his wife Hawa, and to all his kinsmen. A noble voice called to them and teach them about everything. Teach them about the high King of light, whose power is far-reaching and large, without limit and number. Teach them about the worlds of light, the imperishable. Speak to him that his heart may be enlightened, and teach him that his mind may be enlightened. Show yourself to him graciously, and afford him company, you and the 2 angels who are with you, teaching knowledge Adam, Hawa his wife, and all his kinsmen. Tell them that the wicked and Satan, the unlit, shall not deceive them. Teach them prayer and praise, that they may step down and praise the Lord of all the worlds 3 times a day and 2 times of the night. Tell them, take a wife and form a tribe, so that let the world multiply from you. When you approach your wives, wash yourselves with water and keep yourself in. Do not fight and do not steal and do not kill children of men. O you who are perfect and faithful, do not depart from your speech, and do not love falsehood and falsehood. Don't love gold and silver and the possessions of this world, because this world stops and passes away, and their possessions and their works will be abandoned. Do not worship Satan, idols, images, error, and the confusion of this world, for he who worships Satan falls into the blazing fire until the day of judgment, until the hours of judgment. As long as the high light King who judges all beings wants it, he judges the souls, each according to the works of his hands. Do not learn the magic work of Satan, and do not bear witness to the lie. If you speak right, then keep straight and right, and do not turn away from it. When they call witnesses, they are true people. Everyone who perverts the law is consumed by the blazing fire. Deliver unrighteous servants into the hand of their wicked masters, and do not leave the weak to the strong. Honor the father and mother and the elder brothers like the father. A son who despises father and mother will be sentenced on court day. Do not look with greed and desire for something that is not yours, if your Lord grants it to you, but do not argue about it in a sinful way. For according to the will of your Lord, every one of you was the thing that is attributed and is granted in kindness. If evil comes upon you, endure it, and hold fast in your faith. Do not change anything, and do not twist anything in your speech. Do not bend your knee, and do not bow your head, and do not pay homage to Satan the devil. Keep away from everyone who is of the evil one, the idol, and who adores pictures. Don't be a friend to him. Have you asked for Have you asked to follow him and love him? So let the scriptures and speeches and hear the praise that your Lord has bestowed upon you. Does he listen to it, become a believer, and bear witness to the high King of light, the God who loves him, draws near to him, and shows him good from everything you own? He does not listen, does not bear witness, and does not turn believing. He will be held accountable for his own sins. If you see a prisoner who is a believer and truthful, then pay ransom and redeem him, but not with gold and silver alone to release his soul, but with truthfulness and faith, and with the mouth of pure speech release his soul. From darkness to light, from error to the truth, from infidelity and rebellion to prayer and praise, from unbelief to faith in your Lord. Whoever releases a soul is worth generations and worlds to me. I tell you, my chosen ones, I teach you, pray alms to the poor and be a guide to the blind. When you pay alms, my elect, do not bear witness to it. If you witness it once, do not repeat it. Pray with your right hand, so do not let your left hand know. Pray with your left hand, so that your right hand does not know. To everyone who gives alms and bears witness to it, it will be repaid and not credited. Everyone who gives alms and does abundant good, but then abolishes alms and does not donates, falls into the blazing fire until his sins are finished and all his misdemeanors are expunged. My chosen ones, do you see someone who is hungry? So sate he. If you see someone who is thirsty, pray to him to drink. Do you see a naked man? Put garments and cloaks around his neck. For everyone who gives receives, and everyone who lends receives payment. For everyone who gives alms, the great alms will be a support. Whosoever clotheth the naked man with raiment, it shall be around his neck to lay robes and covers. Anyone who releases a prisoner will be with the messenger of life. Whoever lets himself be enlightened and instructed, he will be helped by the Creator. Whoever calls the life, its construction is firmly built and is fixed. Who can be enlightened by my praise, whose name will be remembered daily at the place of light? Who can stand by my words? He will be among the Uthras. He who frees himself from the infidelity of the wicked will be without sins and transgressions, and rise up to look at the place of light. Everyone who out of love for his Lord puts his body to in purity of sin without blemish, to you I say, my elect, to you I declare, my believers, fast the great fast, but not a fast of food, the drinking of the world. Fast with your eyes from winking, and see, and do nothing evil. Fast with your ears from listening to doors that are not yours. Fast with your mouth of impious falsehood, and do not lie. Fast with your heart from evil senses and hatred, jealousy, and do not be divided in your heart. Those who are jealous will not be called perfect. Fast with your hands from the commission of a murder, and do not commit theft. Fast with your body from a wife who is not yours. Fast with your knees from the worship of Satan, and kneel not in front of the images of deception. Fast with your feet from cunning gait for a thing that is not yours. Fast this great fast, and do not break it until your body is separated. Who sins in his childhood, but then no longer sins, and no longer transgresses, the forbearance of his Lord will be granted. He, the high King of light, is compassionate, forgiving, and merciful. He is a remitter of sins and offenses. Everyone who loves gold and silver and the possessions of this world, and therefore commits a murder, falls into the blazing red-hot fire. My chosen ones, have no confidence in the kings and rulers and the rebellious of this world, not even on armies, power, armor, battle, crowds that gather them, and prisoners who bring them together in this world, still on gold and silver. You they made a fuss and threw him out. They collect well and leave it back in the world, then go there and boil in the fire. With you they stir up the coals in their hands, and with their lips they fan the fire. They scourge, and their ruling power are collapsing, and their splendor will be blocked to you. Neither their gold nor their silver shall remain to them, and it will be nor will it be your support. Neither your money nor your estate will be given to you for redemption. Their rule will pass away and come to an end, and there will the verdict be pronounced. I say to all of you who listen to the speech of God, at your standing and your sitting, your walking and your coming, with your food and your drink, with your resting and your lying, in general, in all your actions, call and praise the name of the High King of Light. Cross the Jordan and be baptized. Baptize your soul with the living baptism, which I brought to you from the worlds of light. With the all-perfect and faithful are baptized. Say the blessing about the pita and say it. Say the praises about the mambuha and drink it, that a remitter of sins and offenses may chastise you be. Anyone who is marked with the sign of life over the name of the King of Light, who firmly and steadfastly who keeps baptism and practices good and beautiful works, no one will be on his ways. Do not eat the blood of animals, not a dead animal, not a pregnant, nor throwing, none that stands, none that is a wild animal that is an attacker, but slaughter with the iron, wash, rinse, clean, cook, and eat it. Do not eat or drink from the house of the 12 gates, for they are full of impurity and ugliness. O men who take a wife, why do you want to go out and take a wife in their midst? Love and endure one another, like the eyes that are on you, and feel like eyes that are on your feet, and pay attention. Love and endure each other, that you will become the great Sufsi. For the brothers in the flesh perish, but the brothers in Kushta. So you are the brothers in Kushta who practice love to perfection. Because the name of the first one is on your head erect, your sign is the sign of the living water, by virtue of which you will ascend to the place of light. If you, my chosen ones, listen to what I have told you, say, if you will do as I command you, I will give you splendor, and grant me in abundance, and light from me without end. You will be in the house of life as the uthras of light, flaunted at the places of light. If you do not listen to what I am telling you, if you do not do what I command you, and you will descend into darkness, into which the darkness sink without ascending. Salvation is to him who heard and believed. Woe to everyone who wrapped up and laid down. The good ones who heard and believed rise up victorious and look at the place of light. The bad ones who they heard and did not believe, they set their faces to the great South Sea. My chosen ones, stay away from the unruly, the empty apartment. Every day they sit on the thrones of the rebellion. They sit on the thrones of rebellion, and with scourge perform their works. Their works lead them with the scourge and faithfulness. Meekness and peace is not in them. Do not take a course of error, and do not commit a mistake and fault with gold and silver. Whoever accepts the path of error, whose name is cut off from the place of light. If a man leaves his body, do not weep and exult, no complaining and complaining about him. Do not eat bread about him. Anyone who weeps over a dead man will be put in streams of water when they are full. Whoever tears his robe by the neck will make the mistake, but keep his clothes on. He who pulls out his hair around the dead man, they will enclose it in the mountain, in the dark mountain. Go, you poor wretched and persecuted, weep over you itself. For while you are still in the world, your sins increase. When you are grieved for the souls that depart from among you, so put out displeasure and sorrow from your heart, and keep sorrow and complaint away from your gates. Because of grief and lamentation, the monin and dews formed. They rush ahead of the souls on the way and harass them in the customs house. If you ask for them, and she loves, so perform intercession, prayer, and praise for her. Recite hymns, read orders of prayer, and organize masses for the dead, so that they be merciful to them. Shine with them, go ahead, let the light follow you. Messengers of light will be sent to you on the right, angels of light will be on the left, and they will be watched by and the boilers. Teach souls that their hearts should not falter. Let them speak softly and hear the praise that I have brought you. May they hear and witness, and may their hearts find rest on this support. Pray bread and water and shelter to the poor, and they followed the children of men who were persecuted. Walk the ways of Kushta, and the wage of the wage earner. Don't spend the night with you. Do not rob the partner, and do not deceive your friend. Whoever robs his companion and partner, whose eyes look not to the light. Give each other the rights, and do not make your oath of allegiance to a lie. For the Uthras and kings of light grant each other covenant and an oath of allegiance. O you chosen and perfect ones, be humble and be set apart, so that you may be called chosen, faithful, and believers. Love each other faithfully, and lead your love to perfection. Be gently and modest against the excellent teachers who give you the rights of teaching wisdom. Do not overpower them, so that you may save your soul, and do not attach any blemish. Do not pray to the soothsayers and Chaldeans of falsehood, for in the darkness they will be accommodated. Do not swear false oaths, and twist your oaths not. Do not consume interest and compound interest, so that you are not in the darkness to be judged. Do not boo, and do not whore. Do not sing, and do not dance. You do not let your heart be taken for the song of Satan, which is entirely from magic, deception, and seduction, which is the meaning of the perfect if it turns the hearts of the believers upside down. My chosen ones, take care and be prepared, so that you are called armed in the world. Stand still in the world and endure the persecution of the world until your measure is full. Be each other a support and help, as well as the perfect one, in the pursuit of your race. If your mind is in anger, calm down and keep your heart calm. Accept from the word of your Lord, because the attitude of he who is filled with the wrath of Satan is made wise by the right faith and humility. Who can get through will not allow faith to be drawn to modesty. He will be destroyed by sword, and the saber will he be slain. He will be slain by sword, and he will fall into the blazing fire. If you see a good man who has learned wisdom, approach and accept from him his wisdom. Do not see bad in he who is wise to evil, and so stay away from him. Do not take anything from his wisdom. Do nothing of his works, and walk not in his path. O you who believe and are perfect, everything that you have, if you hate it, don't hurt your neighbor. My chosen ones, do good works and take care of travel, food for your way. See, hear, and believe, and take this word of your Lord. See with your eyes, speak with your mouth, listen with your ears, believe with your heart, practice alms with your hands. Give and do good, and act according to the will of your Lord, but after the will of Satan do not act. Do not have confidence in the beauty of the bodies, because suddenly they spoil. Walk according to the word of your Lord, that you may victoriously ascend to the place of light. Show the high King of light submission and veneration and praise, so that you will not sin, and your guilt will be forgiven. Do not forget about Satan and the deceptive images of this world, for everything that is born dies, and everything that is made with hands will spoil. The whole world is coming to an end, and their divinity will pass. My chosen ones, have no faith in the world, in who lives, because she does not belong to you. Have faith in the beautiful, the works that you do. When you leave your body, you can rely on the works of your hands. My chosen ones, don't show contempt for the orders which your Lord commanded. Show prudence, gentleness, and modesty, which are of the nature of light. Show forbearance, compassion, be conciliatory, and show mercy, which are of the nature of the light. O you men who take wives, O you women who give you men to come, O you men who take women, witness and become children. If you do not bear witness and receive, then bear the disease in the camp. But I will tell you about the ugly works of the women who commit adultery, about every woman who commits fornication, about every woman who commits theft, about every woman who practices magic. And the soul is oppressed in the body, an action that God does not like. For people are not beautiful, for it is like the terrible sufferings for which there is no cure. Do not take as a wife a slave who has not been set free, and do not take your children to a mansion. On the day of the On the day of the servant, he is missing of the heart of, and the heart of the Lord will be angry with him. The sins which the servant commits coming upon the head of the father when you take a woman who is released, so take abundant kindness um, about a great deal. Receive faithful love from a woman to whom there is fidelity. Do not turn away from one another until your measure is full, because who will be a woman betrayed in whom there is no mistake, lies, and deceit, and love and drives the lust of the Tibble, about whom the verdict will be pronounced. If you have children and they remain alive, teach them as soon as you understand yourself the knowledge of the right wisdom, and let them walk in the path of the Kushta. If you do not teach them, you will be condemned in the court of justice. When they don't want to learn, it will be because of their own sins, and they will be called to account. If a man inclines away once he straightens up again, after he receives support, a soul inclines away for the second time. He will be judged by the one who gives support. Does a soul bow away for the third time, and who will raise him up again to support him? Leave them the scriptures and listen to the words, prayers, and praises of your Lord. When you, she will let herself be supported. So pluck out the evil vine, bring a good one, and plant him in his place, because you give him goodness in his ear, but he did not want to hear. They showed him things with his eye, but he did not want to see. You showed him, but he did not see with the eye, and he did not want it. He should have come to an end on the day of the end. He falls into torture into which the wicked fall without rising. When you see people with a physical defect, so do not show contempt for them, and do not laugh at them. For only the bodies formed of flesh and blood are formed by suffering and infirmity, and are contemptible. But the soul will not be saved by suffering, and the soul will be saved by suffering and contemptible infirmities. The soul is only scorned by the ugly works that she commits. I tell you, my chosen ones, I teach you, my Glaubigin, do not praise the 7 and the 12, the leaders of the world, who walking by day and night, for they mislead you, the tribe of souls, who moved here from the house of life. Do not praise the sun and the moon, the illuminators of this world, because this shining is not yours. It was given to them only in order for the dark space. They are the angels of the lapsed house, and they call into account in vain. Do not praise Samis the sun, whose name is Adonai, whose name is Kados, whose name is El. In addition, he has hidden in the world non-revealed names. He, Adonai, chose a people for himself and found a synagogue. Jerusalem square is being built, the city of the Jews, who cutting with a sword and splashing the faces with blood, and so they worship Adonai. The men leave their wives, go there, and lie down with each other. The women who are in their menstruation lie in the lap of men. They turn away from the first teaching and make a book for themselves. I tell you, my chosen ones, do not hold it with those slaves who are abhorred by their master. Do not mix with the Israelites who do not stand there in a speech. Out of the people of the Jews all nations and gates are born and go. False prophets appeared, which are accompanied by lies and deception. They enter from the angels of defectiveness into the partition, the mother of the women who become pregnant with them, and they are covered with blood and give birth to menstruation. They bring false wisdom out of their hearts and throw them to the world. They call themselves God, and they are the messengers. They attract a body and take the shape of men. You will write a book of deception, and ask and warn them, and let them perform false prayer. Lust they call lust, lust and passion they bring over the face of the earth, and they call themselves prophets. Now I, the first messenger, teach and tell all the Nazorians, those who are now and who are yet to be born. Do not listen to their speech, and do not stray from the path of life, my chosen ones. Hold it not with those who do not stand in right speech. Recognize right speech. They accuse one another in lying. A king reviles another king. A prophet punishes the other prophet with lies. They call the children of men with reproach. They are greedy with gold and silver, money, and they will be filled with desire and seduction. Some of them take you by singing, dancing, and voluptuousness are you caught. Some of them seduce you with images of gold and silver, by sculptures made of a block, by idols made of clay, and other worthless works. Some of them oppress you with sword, saber, war, struggle, fear, and terror, and frighten you, and command and make you slaves of the planets against your will. Some of them seduce the children of Adam by humility and flattery, by candy and cunning, by cunning and deception. They put the name of God in their mouths and speak to them. These are the books and the speeches that the great, the exalted, bestowed on us. They mix among them speeches by which their souls are inhibited and perish. They twist their hearts and throw folly into the world. And now I, the pure messenger, say to you, do not listen to the speech of the false prophets, posing as prophets of the Kushta, and make themselves like the three Uthras who have gone into the world. Your light is not a light. Their robe is a robe of fire. Some of them are clothed with garments of darkness, with shrouds of darkness, and their smell is ugly. I say to you, my elect, I call to you and teach you believers, clothe yourselves in white and cover yourselves with white like the garments of splendor and the sheaths of light. Lay white headbands around the same as the flaunting wreaths. Bind yourselves belts of living water, which the Uthras around tie their hips. Put split shoes on, and take bars in your hand, like the rods of living water. With the Uthras carry the rods of light. If you who believe and are perfect don't say anything you don't know and is not revealed to you. For there is no one to whom, except for the great exalted one, that knows all and sees all. My chosen one, arm yourself with an armor that is not of iron. May your armor be Nazarutha and the true speeches of the place of light. Pray to one another good advice as you warned and instructed. As you see with your eyes, call with your mouth, and listen with your ears, so do good. Do beautiful works with your hands. Equal not the evil plants, and drink water not of the evil fruit. My chosen one, see, I have told you about the light for which there is no end or number. I told you about the darkness and the blazing fire that is proclaimed. I told you about Satan, who is without strength and firmness, and is not from the eon that he can be saved from the fire. This is the first teaching given to Adam. The head of the living gender was awarded. It was a speech and a testimony. Then the world will be destroyed by sword and pestilence. It is intended for souls that they should leave their bodies at that time, and their souls rise up without sins to the light. Then Ram, the man, and Rud, the woman, remain. The head of the age they are called. Then the world will be new and wake up, and the world will multiply. Adam the man is destined to last 1,000 years, of whom Adam to Ram and Rud, they are 30 generations. All of them rise up to the light in an ascent, because in a teaching, therefore, they walk, and the speech is of witnessing praise. Then the world will be destroyed by fire. There are remaining Subai as a man, and Sarhabel as a woman. All souls part as they leave their body and ascend to the light. Because do not distort the first teaching, and do not distort the first speech. Then the world is reawakened and multiplies by Ram, and from Rud to Surbai and Sarhabel they are 25 generations. Then after Surbai and Sarhabel the world will be a flood. Noah of the ark and Shem the son of Noah, the whole world is destroyed by water. For it is written for them that the souls depart from and separate the body and ascend to the light. From the age of Surbai and Sarhabel to the age of Noah is 15 generations. From Noah the man the world will multiply, and they will witness in a shout and a praise. And I will make a speech, the messenger of light, and the two angels, my beglider. From Noah the man until the place of Jerusalem is built there 6 generations. It exists in bloom for 1,000 years. There is born and steps there King Solomon the son of David, and he becomes king of Judah and the mighty ruler over Jerusalem. The demons and devas submit to him and go after his will until he glorifies himself for the goodness of his Lord and is ungrateful. Then the demons and devas turn away from his speech, and the lordship will be taken away from him. Then Yeshua, the prophet of Israel, appears. He calls and he makes him his party, and evermore everyone is fighting for him. The 7 devas, the seducers, seduce all the children of Adam. The first is Samis by the name the sun. The second is the spirit Estrus, also Libat, Amamite by name. The third is Nibu, the lying Messiah who falsifies the first praise. The fourth is Sin, the moon, Sorel by name. The fifth is Kewan, Saturn. The sixth Bel, Jupiter. The seventh Nerig, Mars. The devas of the house of Samis give gold to their admirers and silvers and lushness of the abdomen. He sends messengers to the world, and they lead the children of men to worship the sun and moon. The devas of the house of Libat leave delusion, adultery, fornication, lust, passion, song, and sorcery, and to the children of men. The devas of the Nebu Christ treacherously attack the people children. They spread among them. They take them out of their homes and their families. They carry them away to mountains and plains. They let them sit there for themselves, and their sex and their seed flow to them. The demons and devas, the human children, to take the bodies trapped and tormented in mind and soul. You take for them, and there is neither medicine nor cure. He himself appears to his admirers and admires in the fire and speaks to them. See how my glory has risen over the world. You know now that it is not light. He spreads folly in the world. The devas of the house of Kewan throw lamentation, weeping, and false wisdom into the hearts of men, and snatch them from grace. The devas of the house of Nerig raid the children of men, and grind them, and cut their flesh, and shed their blood on earth. They will become scavengers, priests, and oracles. Christ also reveals himself in another form. With fire he is clothed, enveloped in fire, and shows miracles in the fire. Amunel is his name. Yeshua, he called himself. On fire is his abode, and he shows his chariot in the fire. He turns before you and says to you, Come to me, you will not burn. But do not believe him, for in sorcery he goes hand in hand. If he afflicts you, tell him, we belong to you, but in your heart do not confess him, and do not fall from the word of your Lord, the High King of Light. For the lying Messiah, who borrowed things that are not revealed. He says, I am God, and God's Son, whom my Father gave me, sent here. He explains to you, I am the first messenger. I am Hibbel-Ziwa, who came from on high, but confess him not, for he is not Hibbel-Ziwa. Hibbel-Ziwa is not with fire clothed. Hibbel-Ziwa does not reveal himself in that age. Rather, Enos Uthra comes and goes to Jerusalem with a robe of clouds of water. In physical form he strides, but he is not wearing any physical clothing. Embers and anger are not on him. He goes and comes in the years of Paltus, the king of the world. Enos Uthra comes into the world with the power of the high light. He heals the sick, makes the blind to see, cleanses the lepers. He raises up the crippled, the crawling on the ground, that they may walk, and makes the deaf and dumb to speak, and revives the dead. He wins believers among the Jews and shows them there is death and there is life. There is darkness and there is light. There is error and there is truth. He converts the Jews to the name of the High King of Light. 360 prophets go out of the village of Jerusalem. They testify to the name of the Lord of greatness. Enos Uthra, who rises to the height and sits down to the Masunikusta. Every Uthra are hidden from the eyes of the children of men. Then there will be, when Jerusalem is and devastated. The Jews go into exile and will be scattered to all cities. Then comes Amat, the son of the wizard Bizbat, and he spreads a reputation that is not a reputation. He creates a lot of evil in the world and leads the tribe of souls to sin. To everyone who remains in that last age, and with the call of the power and the proclamation goes out to the Jordan, to you will come out of the place of light with flags of splendor, the Nazareans, who put the headscarf around their heads. Will it worth generations in worlds to me, to every Mandaean who lives in the Kushta, persevere. I, Manda Dahaya, will lay down my rights. So listen for and hear and be instructed, my chosen ones, so that you may climb up victorious and look at the place of light, and life is victorious over all works. Second book. In the name of the great strange life from the worlds of light, the Blessed One who is above all works, he healed and is victorious, gives strength and firmness, speech and hearing to me, my wife, because of his book. Our meaning, our knowledge, and our knowledge shine. Our figures shine, our face flaunt here in the Tibble and in the hereafter, in the world of light, and let our name be established in Yawarziwa and Samadhaya.